or what it means. But if we're just talking about women being childish, I think a lot of it has to do with kind of like Mr. Lego said, trauma. Most people, they grow up based on being responsible, but like he's saying, they are with arrested development based on a lot of traumatic things that we aren't taught how to work through. So then you date and you start to connect with people, even friendships, by way of trauma. People link up with friends. Oh, you've been through this, me too, we're friends. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't really have no depth of what they want to be, what kind of friend I should have around me, what is this person. You can't think like that if you're always thinking from trauma, or you need somebody to validate what you're feeling instead of guide you in a better direction. So I understand her point of view. I can't really speak to that era. I apologize, but just now I'm gonna say that's what I see a lot of women overcompensating for their trauma, and you can't really guide them in a way, so they just, to hell with it, I don't care, I'm gonna rebel against it, I'm gonna be defensive, I'm gonna do all these things and to protect the trauma that I'm wearing. And we all see, you probably need a hug. Like, you ever seen people that be so dominant, but sometimes you just say come here and hug them, like a Iyanla hug, and they start pouring out crying, but you was just, that's a defense mechanism, because sometimes somewhere in their life they've had to develop another personality to cope and get through it. So from my experience, I would say that's what I think she meant.
Make sure you
don't shade at all, because I don't do shade, but I think the word trauma gets thrown around a lot. Can we add spoiled to that? Because I know that I am.
But trauma needs to be brought up, because at the end of the day, most of us from a certain generation have experienced
been traumatized.
trauma. Most of us in relationships, if it ends wrong or one person doesn't agree. I mean, you just kind of not wanting marriage and calling your child an accident could be traumatic on her. I'm just being honest, that can be traumatic. So you may say it's spoiled, but
it's funny because you know who her dad is. It ain't like
that's kind of inflicting. That's kind of inflicting
was trauma. Orange Country Cookie, pure trauma. We ain't gotta go down that road. We ain't gotta go down the road. No. We ain't gotta go down the road, because that's your kid. Protect your kid. Stop.
But she not traumatized.
Stop. No, don't do that. Protect your kid.
She not.
Don't do that.
I wasn't attacked. I was just saying as an example. Okay, you could see it as such, but when she grow up, you don't know. To take it off you, I have a cousin whose mother told her.
Orange Country Cookie, let it go.
I'm saying I would just take it off you, a family member I know. Her mother told her at a time where she goes through the most traumatic upbringing. She told her, I wish I never had you. You remind me of your daddy. She heard that a lot. As you grow up, you start to resent that. Things can happen. Dang, am I just like my father? What is he like? Dang, am I just like this? Dang, she wished she never had me. Why did she say these things? She don't even remember saying it. It had to be people around that remember it. So what I'm saying is, it may not be traumatic in the moment as the mother, but we don't know on the receiving end what that sits into a child's mindset when they start to develop. They may still be in that conscious state going into relationships thinking they're not good enough. So now they're dating with a certain level of insecurity, where people are attaching themselves as an easy target to be, you're an accident, you're this. And I'm saying that can be traumatic, whether we identify with it. I'm not saying that's her particular situation.
I didn't tell her until she was grown and know what condom and birth control is. And I didn't want her to get pregnant like I did. So I told her she was an accident. She was 18 years old when I told her that.
You accidentally put it.
Let's keep going. We don't want to talk about personal kids.
Let me ask you this.
It's fine. I'm not tripping.
But keep in mind, she's in the other room. She can hear this. Let's not.
No, Mr. Lego. Let's talk about it.
She's a grown woman.
You can't force no woman not to talk about what she want to talk about. She gonna do it anyway. She already told you. We might as well mind this out. She introduced it into the conversation.
What's the question, Bruiser? I know Bruiser go be respectful.
Don't re-traumatize this child that's in the background, y'all.
She's not a child. She grown.
She's still
now.
a child.
And see, now she yelling at you because you think that you're protecting her and you're not. These women don't want to be protected, bro. You listen.
You not protecting me by letting me speak my truth.
See?
I'm just gonna say earlier, I did try to jump in and say,
you don't want to hear nothing you gotta say, bro. They want to do what they want to do when they want to do it.
Tell her story. So
a lot of women, but they'll have sex with you though. That's the craziest part.
Mute up, One Country Cookie. Just mute up. Just mute up. Hit the mute button. Thank you.
They don't need your protection. They don't need your support, but they'll lay down.
I'm sorry. I just want to say.
I was going to ask Lucky.
I wasn't trying to do nothing. Sorry.
Okay. The only thing I was going to ask her was, it seems like, and I had an experience too, where my mama would say that whenever I messed up or I did something wrong, oh, you remind me of your dad. But whenever I did anything that was good, I never reminded her of my dad. So
Right.
it's almost like she molded me to think that everything that came good for me came from her, and everything bad that came from me was from him. Is that, can we sit here and can we say that these single moms that's raising these kids with this type of mentality are setting their kids up to actually hate their fathers?
I think that your mom and certain moms do that,
Well, I
but
was
to
I was asking
blatantly
Lucky though,
all single moms
but you
don't
can
do
go
that
ahead.
to their children.
Okay.
Were you asking me that?
You
No, I
said
was
what?
asking Lucky because I think she brought it up. But I mean, y'all can answer. Y'all, if y'all are single
What was
moms,
the
go
last
ahead.
part?
I was saying, is it said that
With single moms, something.
women are raising these men, these young kids up to actually hate their fathers?
Yeah, that has been a running thing for years. I think that it is different than it was before in a certain, like maybe the baby boomer generation. You know, when they hated the father, they actually were more physical and hands-on. But I think a part of being emotional comes with a woman who does hate the father, the way that she tries to correct the child, especially her son, or even discipline or talk to them. Most of that is out of her hurt and her trauma from whatever the relationship was with the father. So you have a traumatic person who is raising a child traumatically, and we're looking to them to make the conscious decision the same way the father could have been dealing with trauma. But most sons are not taught how to deal with emotions. They're taught to suppress, go in there, suck it up, leave. So when we have situations in relationship where a kid is involved, why do we think, yeah, you can say the woman ran him off with her attitude, but why is he so easy to just leave and forfeit the situation? That could also be a form of trauma that we don't bring up with men. We just say, where was he at? He left. But they also have their way of dealing with it. Ours look different, theirs look different, because we're taught women can just say whatever, say how you feel, let them know. Don't let nobody do this to you. Men, shut the hell up. You a boy. Stop crying. Toughen up. You know,
But that was their mom. But that was their mom. That was their mother telling them that.
right?
They taught their daughters how to be
Boys do
independent.
that.
Are the
The
women
fathers
now?
do that
Are the
too, though.
women now doing that? That's the
Oh
thing, right?
yes.
It's the
Oh yes. A
women
lot
that
of
are
them.
mothers on this panel. Are y'all saying that to y'all children? Are
No,
y'all
we're not talking about the panel. We're talking in
The women
general.
on the women on the panel is always gonna play like they're part of the
No,
exception.
I thought we didn't want to
If I
personalize
had
it,
a
y'all.
boy,
No, we're not personalizing. I'm just saying,
Right.
like, are we making sure we're not repeating?
Why we
these
can't
things?
personalize it?
if
They didn't want to personalize.
The fact of the
I'm saying,
matter,
are we making sure we're not repeating the same mistakes? Like Lucky said, she grew up seeing that, but are we making sure we're not repeating those same things?
first of all,
No.
if
We
I
can't
had a boy,
perpetuate it when we
I
on a
can answer
panel
your
in front of
question.
thousands of people. Is all I'm
D.
saying.
Taylor.